You need to recognize how far you've gotten, how well you've done. Because if you don't, that will eat you alive. It will catch up to you. You need to be easier on yourself. You need to cut yourself some slack. Because you've been through a lot. I know we've all been through a lot. I know. No matter how pathetic you think you are, you've done a lot. You need to sit back and recognize the little things, you know? You need to take a step back and just see how far you've come from, like, I don't know, 10-year-old you, 12-year-old you, 5-year-old you. Like, you need to appreciate how far you've gotten. I know it doesn't usually feel like you've gotten far. It feels like you need to get to the next thing or whatever, but you know, you need to appreciate yourself and what you've done. You need to recognize that. I'm Val. So the first step to realizing and recognizing how far you've gotten is to understand the different types of growth. So there's physical growth, you know, like gym bro, hair growth, I don't know, whatever, puberty, second puberty, plastic surgery, whatever. And then there's mental growth, mindset, getting over things, fears, working on your mental health, growing tougher skin, you know, those kind of things. 3, that's not 3. 3, spiritual growth. I don't know what spiritual growth looks like for you. I don't know, it could be like finding God, or learning how to manifest, getting into tarot, finding any other religion, you know, those kind of things. Now 4. You know, in golf. Anyways, I don't even know golf. I'm joking about the golf joke, because I don't play golf. I played mini golf once and I sucked ass. 4, material growth. That's like your bag, that's your bread, that's your money, that's all your stuff. Your cars, your house, diamonds, Minecraft diamonds. That was cringe. That's your Minecraft diamonds, that's your gold, that's your iron ingots, you know, material growth, stuff. 5 is slow growth. Slow growth is not bad. Slow growth is forward. Forward is good. Slow growth isn't bad. It's fine to grow slowly. Sometimes you need to go a little slow, you know? You know what I'm saying? But like, don't compare yourself to others, like, oh, this person's moving fast, whatever. You know how it's like, there's like a graph for like how, what's it called, like a learning curve? No, it's not. Is it a learning curve? There's a graph where it's like, oh, the newbies, like this, that's how much they progress. But if you're like already proficient at something, your learning is like, because you already know a lot, like, so you can slowly grow. That's fine. Like, it's your life. You take as long as you need. You can slowly grow. That's fine. For example, a plant. Nature. A plant grows slow. Takes a year or a few to grow. What, a tree? I don't know. I don't garden or plant. I don't do that. But it takes a while for it to bear fruit. So you can also do that. You're not a plant, but it's a good metaphor. 6. I hope that wasn't a gang sign. It couldn't have been, right? Might have to cut that out. Anyways, 6, fast growth. Well, it's like, you know, it's the opposite of slow growth. You just happen to be moving faster. And sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes you get momentum and you're like, whoa, I'm growing so fast. Or sometimes you're new and you have all this stuff to learn and you learn it fast. That's fine. That's just as good as slow learning or slow growing, whatever. Acknowledge both of those. Those are both equal, okay? Growing fast and growing slow. It's fine. Give love to both versions of yourself, whatever. 7. Stagnant growth. I'll call it stagnant growth because that sounds cooler, obviously. Stagnant growth. Okay, that sounds counterintuitive, counteractive, whatever, to stagnantly grow. But sometimes you hit plateaus, okay? And sometimes you need to sit there and just like be. You need to just like, you need a time of no growth. I mean, like, I don't think you're never not growing, but sometimes when you feel stagnant and you don't feel like you're growing, sometimes you like need that, like a break, kind of like rest. That's what I see stagnancy as, like just a break. Like sometimes you're just like need to be there. 8. This one, it's a little controversial. Relapsing. Now, I know you've heard growth isn't linear, because it isn't. Sometimes you gotta go back. Sometimes you gotta go back to your old habits. Sometimes it comes back to you, okay? Growth isn't linear. It can go, you know? Relapsing makes you stronger, okay? It's like, okay, that happened. Time to grow from it again. I feel like it makes you stronger. Going back to something. Sometimes you need to go back to something to reinforce what's going on, you know? You need to reinforce your growth. Oh my god, I saw a video once. So there's this girl on TikTok, right? And she's like, okay, I got my lip pierced. And then I didn't like it, so I took it out. But then it was like, oh no, there's a hole now. And then it, like, you know how it scars over in the hole? So it scars, but there's like a whole scar, you know? It's, if you have piercings, you know. But then she's like, okay, got it again. And then she took it out again. I don't know what was with her, okay? But then it like healed over. Like it looked good as new. Like the scar hole wasn't there. And that's what like relapsing is like. Completely sealing over the issue. And it's okay if you relapse multiple times. Okay, it's not okay, but you can grow from that, and I know you can. It's easier to bounce back from things when it keeps happening, sadly. But that's still growth. You can still grow from that. Now, that I've listed all of the growth thingies, types of growth, think about it. Yeah. Which one is yours? How are you growing? How have you grown? Recognize that and be thankful. Appreciate that. Love that version of yourself because you grew. That's so amazing. Growth is such a beautiful thing, to be honest, and people take that shit for granted. Like, I see a lot of people be like, oh, I'm so pathetic. Oh, aren't I like this? Okay, but you're not the same person you were like a year ago. Why can't you see that? It's like, oh, I can't do this. Okay, but you can do all these other things that you've learned. Like, recognize that. Like, appreciate that. Like, cut yourself some slack. Oh, I haven't gotten this far as I wanted to come. But you've gotten so far still. It's like, oh my god, dude. Like, dude. See it. So w'acknowledge that and stop being so hard on yourself when you've done so much. If you're someone who's slowly growing, mentally growing, spiritually growing, relapsing, it's okay. As long as you go forward or you start going forward, it's okay. The thing is about those types of growth, you know, the ones that aren't like fast or showable, is you don't have proof and you feel like that it's not growth because you have nothing to show for it. But you don't need anything to show for it. You don't need to show other people how far you've come. As long as you recognize it yourself, that's all that matters. If you're looking for other people's attention and validation, click off. Like, that's not what this is for. You grew for yourself, okay? You grew for yourself, not for other bitches, okay? You're growing for yourself. You don't need proof. You don't need to show other people how far you've gotten. Irrelevant. They don't even exist. If you've grown in those types of ways, you're amazing, okay? You're amazing. And you don't need anyone else to tell you that. I don't even need to be telling you that. You should be telling yourself that. You should know that in your brain. Like, I'm doing great. Oh my god. Honestly, I spent like the last year or more. I spent a year and a half working on myself. No proof. And I feel like shit for it. I still struggle with not being able to show people because it's like I feel like everyone's looking down on me. But it's okay because I know in my heart, in my little tiny heart, that I've grown and I am such a different person from who I was a year ago or 2 years ago, 6 months ago. And I know you are too. You're not the same person as you were a year ago. And I promise that. And you need to recognize that. And you need to appreciate that you've grown from that person. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Love you. Don't be hard on yourself. You got this.